Hello, everyone. I'm Ember.
And I'm Minaj.
And this is
The Wooden Taco.
Whoa. I don't know what that was, but let's go with it.
Okay.
Today's topic, it's a little bit harder to swallow.
Yes, today viewer discretion is advised. This might be a very triggering video to some people. So our topic today is going to be mental health. So if that's something that might be a little bit triggering to you, we'll be talking about some heavy subjects today.
Right.
Please stay tuned for our next video if this video was not for you. But if it is, welcome. Let's talk.
We're mainly going over this today just to kind of share our own personal experiences with dealing with mental health issues. With being in the LGBT plus community, a lot of us deal with mental health issues, from battling our own inner demons to dealing with demons on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always important to communicate.
Yes, let people know how you feel. You're never alone.
You're
never alone.
Right. There is so many different hotlines to call. You can call toll-free, anonymously, and you can always talk to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We can probably list a few in the description below.
Yes.
Never feel like you're alone.
Never.
Because many of us over the years have felt like we were alone and didn't know that there was resources out there. And the joy is nowadays, everything is so out there and accessible.
Yes. Everything is very accessible nowadays, and that's great. You know, you have websites like BetterHelp.com, which will help you get connected to a licensed therapist and who will give you timely and thoughtful responses in case you feel stressed out going to see a therapist. And we also have things like the Trevor Project that you can call, and like a lot of trans hotlines, LGBT hotlines. There's so many things that we have a lot of tools at our disposal. Right. Please use them.
You can even use Facebook as a tool. Facebook, as toxic as it can be, you can always look for groups in your area to talk with people like you.
Right.
I know I have one that for our local area that is LGBT and allies, and I've made so many friends through there. We've gone on picnics, we've done a lot of stuff, well, pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a good sense of community.
Yes, and that's very important for everybody.
So, for me, this is a touchy subject. I am someone that has definitely fought with depression over the years. Although most people wouldn't believe me, I've always been a very outgoing person.
Yeah.
But sometimes the most outgoing people are the ones that have the most to hide.
Right.
Usually you'll look at the people that are thinking about ending things as the ones that are quiet. They never think about looking at the one that's out there screaming and just running around being a fool.
Mm-hmm.
We can look at celebrities that have ended things. Look at Robin Williams. You never would have thought. I didn't expect to get into this early in the video, but I guess I'm already here. I, at one point in the past, did try to commit suicide. Not many people know the story. My closest friends know the story. I don't even think my mom even knows the story. She never realized. And I don't fault her now. At the time, I hated and I really was depressed in my own head. But I never let anyone know that because I always thought I had to be the one that was outgoing, the crazy kid. I had a rough week at school. It was after I had lost my dad. I lost my dad when I was 13. The time where a boy needs his dad to kind of be there for him, to kind of teach him things. And I played it off as I was always so good. I was always good. But once I got in my room alone, I kind of struggled. One Friday night, I took a whole bottle of Tylenol thinking I would say, screw it, end it all. No one cared. I didn't feel like, at that point, I didn't feel like anyone truly cared. I was an annoyance to everyone. I was constantly in trouble. So I'm like, we'll save everyone the headache. And I took a whole bottle of Tylenol. I woke up 2 days later. Pissed. Because most people that take a whole bottle of Tylenol, two things happen. They don't wake up. Or they wake up in the hospital. I woke up in the exact same place I went to sleep. No one in my house noticed. I don't exactly remember why they didn't, but when I stumbled out of my room, my mom's response was, "Oh, about time you come out of there. You've been in your room all weekend." She probably thought I was playing the new Pokemon game or something all weekend, but nope. Maybe, and she probably maybe did check on me every now and then. Probably thought, oh, he's just sleeping. I was, but maybe a little harder than you thought. So it's like, you never know what's going on inside someone's head. So anyone out there that ever needs to talk to them.
Right.
If the loud person suddenly becomes quiet, talk to them.
Right.
Whether they want you to or not, be there for them. Because sometimes it might have just taken that one person to kind of reach out, be like, hey, what you doing?
Right.
Want to hang out? What's going on?
Right.
And that might not have happened.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes when I get in like bad moods, I shut down, and there's been people in my life who, like when they see me, they like think that I'm giving them an attitude, and then like they'll leave, and it's like that's the wrong thing to do. If people don't want to talk at that moment when you ask them what's wrong, give them time. They're probably still trying to process things. Like, let them know that you're by their side through, like, even through hard times, because those people that did that to me, like, I know that they're not probably gonna be there for me, like, when I need them to. You know, if they're gonna act like that when I'm just having a bad day and I just don't want to talk in that moment, you could still sit by me. You don't have to think that I'm giving you, like, an attitude. Don't make this about you. What's bothering me is not about you. I promise you, it's not about you. Otherwise, I would talk to you. You know? When I was in close to middle school, I'm not sure what the age range was. Might have been 13 or something. I remember starting to get all these weird thoughts. Thoughts of wanting to harm myself constantly, and just thoughts of like feeling that I hadn't felt, and I'm like, this isn't right. My mind's spinning. Like, something's not right, and I don't know what that was. I remember I went to my pediatric doctor, I think, because I was right on the cusp of the cutoff thing. So I went up to him, talked to him. He recommended me to go to a hospital in Chicago, and my family drove me into the city, and I told them the same things, that I was having thoughts of harming myself very frequently, and I got admitted into Children's Memorial Hospital for 10 days for thoughts of suicide, like frequent thoughts of suicide. Looking back at the experience, I did not feel like I belonged there, because the people who I was there with, they all had attempted suicide in some form, whereas for me it was only thoughts. Looking back, I realized that what was bothering me was anxiety, and I've been learning how to manage that. I was put on medication after I left the hospital, and I went to therapy after that experience. But I just remember being in the hospital the entire time and wondering, like, how, like, these hospital visits I knew at that age were not cheap. The only thing I could think of was how much my parents were paying for me to be in this hospital. I felt like because I didn't have any attempts, they should have let me out sooner. There were a couple of other preteens that were there who got admitted after I did and left before I did, and to me it was very like confusing as to why. And the only thing I could think of was like, how is this costing my like, this is costing them something in some type of way financially, and that's literally all I could think about the entire time I was there. I'm like, I want to leave. I feel like I don't belong here. But that helped me just realize that I just have really, really bad anxiety sometimes. And I'm glad that I've overcome that, and I'm glad that we're still here.
Right, and like a lot of that, we have to go through certain traumas to learn from them, and it's probably a good thing they did take it so seriously with you and put you in the hospital. So you did learn. You had anxiety. You learned ways to cope with it. For you, what are some of your coping mechanisms you've kind of learned over the years to deal with it?
I do have some healthy and unhealthy coping mechanisms. My unhealthy, I would say, would be shopping when I feel sad. I think to myself, I need a purpose, but my brain hears I need a purchase, so I go out shopping. And then I like to eat. I love eating when I'm sad. I have a whole video idea for myself that I want to do, so I can express how that affects me, like through art, you know. But I love eating. My favorite food is Checkers because nothing tastes better than a triple cheeseburger when you're crying. But my good coping mechanism, something that I learned, and the reason why I say this so much, is I learned and I found a sense of community within my friends, and I learned that I was not alone. And I will always tell everybody that whatever you are feeling, I promise you, you are not alone. There are 7 billion people on this earth. You are not alone. Whatever you're going through, somebody else is going through what you're going through. Maybe not the exact precise situation, but there are people out there who can listen and have like answers for you. Please, like, talk with people. Like, I know that I call Ember all the time when I'm just having a bad day, and she right away comes over and like comforts me when I'm having like a really bad day.
Usually with lemonade in tow.
In
tow. You bring it with the phrase. And that's like, you do need to find at least 1 or 2 really good friends.
Yes.
That do totally understand you. Like, when Taco will call me saying they're having a bad day or something, there's many times they're probably expecting to just sit there and have a phone conversation. I look at them like, I got time. I will literally get in my car, stop at the gas station, grab some lemonade, and be up to her house within 20 minutes.
And I thank you for that.
Lemonade and something sweet. It's like, you need the support.
Right.
No one can do this alone.
Right.
Whether you feel like you can or not, as hard as it is to believe, you need someone out there to help support.
Right.
The strongest person always has a strong support.
Yes. Yes, call on your village. We are animals with primordial instincts, and a lot of times our brain, subconsciously, we're still in like villages and like back to like really old age, call on your village. Olden age. That's what I meant to say. Like, you know, call on your village. People are gonna be there for you. Like, get some help, please. But those are my coping mechanisms. What are yours?
Usually, I like taco. I have good and I have bad coping mechanisms. My bad ones. I wish I could say it was a shopping coping mechanism, but I'm too poor for that, and I got bad credit, so no credit card. But food has always been one. I've always had. I can't blame all this on stress. But by the time I was 16, 17, I had lost my dad, both his grandparents. And then by the time I turned 21, I had lost one of my other grandparents. And in the last 5 years, I've lost 2 other family members that are very close to me. So I've been through a lot, so I do kind of have a lot of dealing with stress. I've learned how to deal with it. The biggest one that hit me was about 3 years ago. I lost my godmother, and she took that term godmother to heart, and she was like a second mom to me. And I miss her so much. We all do. Maybe we should have did this video now. We still got more to film. A couple weeks ago, now we lost her husband, and it's been rough on all of us, especially to watch my grandmother bury a child. A mother should not have to bury a child, but I've now watched many mothers bury many children. And the biggest thing I could say is I've had my family given and chosen to fall back on. I know I have like people I can call and say, hey, let's hang out. And I can tell you right now, please do not let alcohol be that coping mechanism. We have lost too many to that being your outlet. The good decisions are usually not made over alcohol.
Right.
Whether it be getting behind the wheel of a car or getting into bed with the wrong person or getting into fights. Like, it's never easy to deal with loss. It's just how it's always, you just gotta look at certain ways and you gotta look at the good, you gotta look at the light beyond the tunnel to figure out how am I gonna move on from this and what have I learned from this experience. And that's why I think I have learned to be so bubbly and so cheery, even though inside a lot of days I say I want to die, but we put one foot in front of another and we move on. But I can say one thing. Invest in a good pair of headphones and blast some music.
Yeah.
When you're sad, don't blast sad music in your ears.
It helps you cope.
That, I feel like, to me, that's just gonna make me sadder. Or more sad. I'm trying to think of the correct English term. Sorry, Miss Wells. She's one of my high school English teachers. She watches our channel. She loves all of us.
No way!
Yes.
Oh my god.
I love you, Miss Wells. But for me, when I'm having a bad day, I will literally sit there and just listen to Disney shit. Like, cause like I've said before, you can't be grumpy listening to Disney music. Brandon would be proud.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Brandon.
Love you, Brandon. He's one of my other best friends that he's had a hard life too, for a lot of different reasons. But he doesn't let it get him down. And he has been one of my inspirations to kind of keep moving.
Yeah.
Because if Brandon can keep smiling after all the shit he's been thrown,
Right.
I might as well walk right next to him smiling too.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, I feel you about the lost things. My grandmother passed when I was a senior in high school, towards the end of high school. She, like, it was, like, her thing. She really wanted to see me graduate high school and, like, go on to college. And right as all the final projects, like, in the midst of all the final projects, she died from dementia. And that really affected me because I was so close with her. And I really wish she was still alive because there's a part of me that really wants to make her proud with my drag. She was always one for, being different and standing out. Like, I really wish that I could show her, like, my drag and my art and all that stuff, but it's just not gonna. Unfortunately, I don't have the opportunity.
I'm sure she's watching. I'm sure she's proud.
But
I think we've gotten kind of off topic from stuff we've laid out, but I think it's things we needed to get off our chests ourselves.
Right, it's great to talk about these things. Talking about stuff helps, and like never be afraid. Find somebody that you can talk to. We're literally sharing our life experiences with the entire internet.
For me, stories that I have kept so close to myself. Not a lot have heard the stories you guys have heard tonight. Even if you don't think you have a friend that would talk to you, you do.
You do.
Even if you want to reach out in the comments,
right?
You can always tell your story below.
Mm-hmm.
Tell an experience you've had. I'm sure someone else has had a similar experience. You can always make a friend.
Right, and we want to make sure that this community that we're building for our channel is nothing but supporting each other, because I'm sure whoever's watching our videos have gone through some shit, or we're all outcasts or something. So, like, this is going to be a judgment-free zone for people to listen and for people to get stories off of their chests that they've been holding in, and maybe seek advice if wanted. If not, just telling your story helps so much.
Right, because no one knows your story but you.
Right.
No one can truly tell it the way you can.
Right. And I'm sure, like, if you ask anybody who you are friends with and your family, people would rather, like, listen to your story rather than see you, like, be there at your funeral. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, people would rather talk to you before you do something.
They'd rather have a conversation with you
Right.
than reading your eulogy.
Right. But on that note, I think we could talk about, like, how we can improve, how we can stay focused on life, because the flow of time is always cruel, but it keeps going. Like, how do we improve? Because I know that as of lately with drag, thankfully I have found a reason to keep going. So I don't have as bad of anxiety anymore. Granted, I still get it, but it's not as bad as before. Thankfully, because I found support, I found something that I'm very passionate about that gives me life.
For me, the ways I've found to kind of improve myself when it comes to my own mental health is I've learned to open up more. when I was younger, I did open up to a lot of people. I was always very friendly to everyone, and I talked a lot. My mom always said once I started talking, I never shut up when I was a kid. But a lot of it was just babble. I didn't truly let people in. And I can honestly say I never truly let people into my life and truly into me until I was about 18. And that's when I truly found some good friends that I could actually trust. And that's, to me, that's the best way to improve, is to find the right way to open yourself up.
Right.
Yes, if you open yourself up, you're more likely to get hurt. But if you don't open yourself up, you don't know how to move forward.
Right.
Is there anything that you do to kind of ease your stress?
Honestly, for me, it's just knowing that I have support when I need it. That's the best thing that I have right now. That's how I've been, like, getting through life, is just like, I know that I have people that I can call on. I know that I've found friends and people who are there for me, and it takes time. You will find I like your people. You will find your community. You will find a village that you fit in. I didn't believe that when I was in high school, 16 through 18. I did not. I honestly thought that I was alone. Luckily, I've been so blessed to have a best friend named Jackie to get me through my hardest of times, and like, I owe it all to her and to everybody, all the people in my life. I honestly am still here because of you guys. You guys have given me strength in my everyday life, and it is an everyday battle too. But the fight is worth it. I just remind myself that I have a lot in life. Even if it seems like I have nothing, I still have a lot in life. One of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling sad is I call somebody and I'm like, let's name 5 things each on what's good. What is good going for us? What are 5 great things in our life right now? And then we come up, and by the time that we're done, it's like, wow, I feel a lot better. You know, that's how I like to.
Yeah. For me, the ways that I kind of lessen my stress nowadays, if I've had a stressful day, which work in retail, there's plenty of them. Nothing's better than going home, taking a hot shower, relaxing, playing GTA and shooting some people in the head. Like, just playing some video games. GTA is a good one because it does get some good stress out, because it's things you want to do some days but you can't for obvious reasons. Or even just finding something as satisfying as building a house in Minecraft. One block on top of the other, moving forward.
Yes. I love that. And I feel like we can also just surround ourselves with our friends more often, and stop surrounding ourselves with like other people. And I feel like that's how we can get less stress in life, is by making sure that we're just staying around people who build us up, and like letting go of people who just tear us down.
Right. You need to learn who the toxic people in your life are. Both of us have gone through that somewhat recently, trying to balance out our life and who we have in it.
Right.
It's never easy to say goodbye to a friend.
No.
But sometimes it's needed.
Yeah.
For me, I never say a chapter is closed on a friend. It's always a to be continued. You never know what's going to happen in the future. I'm always willing to give people a second chance. Not sure if Scotty or Taco is.
No, I feel like if you're out of my life, you're just out of my life. Like, I'm not just gonna. It takes a lot for me to kick somebody out. of my
Yeah.
life, and if you're out, you're gone. Like, I don't understand when people get back with exes. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that I don't get.
That's same concept for me. In my mind. In my logical mind.
Yeah.
But anything else?
No, I think that's it for today.
I really hope that your guys' takeaway is that your life is very important to people. You matter to people. You are somebody's best friend. You are somebody's kid, somebody's parent, somebody's aunt, uncle, cousin.